Hi, this is your coach, Joe Lucas, and welcome to today's video coaching message. Hey, right now we're kind of weaving through January here, and you're probably noticing some trends. You know, either you're feeling really good about where you are, or you're kind of stuck in the mud a little bit. And what I want to cover today is really more of a story and a strategy, and I'm going to share this with you. And my goal is it will unstick some of you. Okay, so let's talk about what causes an advisor to what I call flatline. So, you know, the revenue doesn't go up or it kind of varies a little bit, and you know yourself, right? You know whether you're stuck or not, right? Whether you flatline. And the reason why advisors flatline, there are several reasons. Let me kind of give you what I think are the top ones. Number one is we get in a comfort zone, and we get in this economic comfort zone, right? Making our bills plus or minus a little bit. Now we know we could be doing better, right? We know that intellectually, but you know, there's not a compelling reason to do it, right? So you kind of put things to yourself like this. I'd really like to grow my business. I'm going to try to ask for more introductions. You know, I really, you know, I'm going to probably try to, right? You use certain language with yourself when you are positioning goals and outcomes. And look, tried, should tries, anything like that will never happen in our world. There's too much stuff coming at us, too many distractions, too many competing priorities. So if you're operating that way, here's one of the reasons why it's not compelling to you. Okay, just not. The other thing that causes advisors to flatline is systemization, right? So what I mean by systems, I mean really integrated CRM, but what, you know, and there's several out there. We're not going to get into names, but the one you have, you know, cold. You know it so well you can teach it to other people. Because if that's not the standard, I'm telling you right now, things slip through the cracks. Systems for reviews, systems for call rotation cycles, systems, right? Because in the reality is when you're starting out, when you have a small number of clients, you can, you know, just work hard, you know, put the hours in, make things happen, but you can never scale it if you don't have a systemization. Now, it does not mean you need a team of 15 people behind you. Kind of some of you sitting there going, well, Joe, you know, I'm a lifestyle advisor. I work out of my house. That's fine. You still need systems. Doesn't matter, right? And then the other piece of what causes an advisor not to move forward or not to break out or flatline is their own psychology. You know, getting back to really part one, right? How you talk to yourself, what you think you deserve, you know, kind of your biases, right? And we'll talk about biases in a little bit. All these things lead into giving yourself permission to be okay/average. And here's the thing, and I said this in another video I did, I think last week. There are only two modalities or two approaches in our space. Either we're approaching it from a place of abundance/opportunity, or we're approaching it from a place of scarcity survival. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't, you know, kind of get yourself into that abundance, you know, opportunity scenario, you default to this one. Now, you don't sit there and rationally say, hey, I'm in this mode, but that's the mode, right? So if you're not abundant, you're scarce. There's no, I think I am here. No. Two boxes, you check them, okay? The reason why this is important is a lot of you hopefully have set some goals. Maybe you've gone through, you've done a business plan, whether you use our process or use some other process. And now it's time to go get it done, right? Now it's time to quote unquote do the work. And you're bogging down, you know, you're getting frustrated already, and it's only the third week of January. And what's going to happen, this is why I'm putting this video out here today, is in another week or two, come February 1st, you know, first week of February, you're going to surrender. And not that you're going to say consciously, I surrender. You're going to default back into your habits, the patterns, your psychology. And this is why for some of you, for the last 15 years, it's been like startup mode for those 5, 10, or 15 years because you're running that pattern. So let me share with you a story and a strategy that I use. Often, you know, people come, you know, reality is people reach out for me for one or two reasons. They either are inspired and they want to go from good to great, right? They want to go good, and that's great. Or they come to me because, you know, they're in this kind of different mode, right? They're frustrated. They can't break out, and so they're either inspired or desperate. And that's the way I look at it, right? Whatever motivates somebody to come in my door, I'm fine. I give everybody in this industry 30 minutes of my time, no questions asked. Pretty simple. So, not, you know, this happens often, so it's not like one particular story. It's probably maybe 100 stories woven in here. So, you know, when I get somebody who's been in the business for a while and has had some level of success and they're kind of stuck, you know, one of the things we do is, you know, I say, hey, well, let's look at what our collateral is. And collateral is just a fancy word for how many clients do we have? What's their disposition? Talk to me, right? And, you know, and that number of clients can range from 100 to 300 to 400. I mean, there's, you know, could even be more. Then my next question, are they segmented? And when I say segmented, are they not segmented by assets? Are they segmented by revenue runs, recurring revenue runs, right? What, you know, what kind of the register, right? The year in and year out, quarterly in and quarterly out. And then obviously, if depending on your model, right, you may be more on the insurance side of things, so it's a little bit more, you know, product transactional based, but we still have those clients there too. So then here's the all-important question. Let's just say somebody has 300 clients, all shapes and sizes, doesn't matter segmentation. And I say to them, what percentage of the 300 do you think are optimized? That you have, you know where all the money is, you've got all their money. Like we've done everything for them. There's nothing more. There's no more services we can provide. There's no more depth of relationship we can provide. Nothing, right? We've kind of done it all. And, you know, and this is where the bias comes in. Most advisors answer the following. Oh, Joe, I know my clients really well. I have all their money and stuff like that. It's okay. So I don't fight that battle right now. And then I ask some follow-up questions. Okay, of the 300, how many of them have either a current financial plan, and I mean current, it's been updated in the last 12 months, and or a minimum a net worth statement that has been updated in the last 12 months or so, right? Two very simple questions. Now it gets interesting because now we get into, well, you know, some of them do, and now that 300, right? Well, of the 300, well, how many do we really have, right? And now we see that number is a lot less than 300. Now they're gaps. But here's where the bias comes in. Well, Joe, I know these people. You know, if they had money, a lot of them are dead ends. I said, really? You sure? You're absolutely sure on that, right? And so here's the question I ask. And some of you may take offense to it, and I don't think I'm going to apologize in advance for it. The one thing you should know about me, I'm brutally direct. It's never about me. It's about getting my client their success. That's what I'm all about. So I don't have time to mince words or play patty cake or anything like that. I need to get to the heart of the matter. So here's the question. And here's what I say. Well, look, let me pose it to you this way. What percentage of your clients you could swear on your family's lives, so you know for a fact you'd be willing to risk your family's lives, are optimized? Now that number is like, well, you know, maybe 5%, maybe 10%, right? And all of a sudden now I change the frame of the question. I get a very different answer. I get the real answer, right? Because I strip the bias out, right? So now I get them to answer that question. I said, so here's what we need to do. What we need to do is methodically, without overthinking this or prejudging things, go from, I don't care, you want to start from A, you want to start from Z, you want to do some other way of sorting it out, and I want you to at least execute a phone review. And in my druthers, I'd have you execute a phone net worth process, right? Just to see where the economic bodies are buried, right? And the reason why I bring this up today, I have an old new client. So in my world, people come hang out with me. We'll get them, you know, I'll partner with them. I'll get them really where they want to be. And then, you know, the ego comes in. I got it all figured out. Thank you very much. And they go away for a couple of years. Inevitably, a lot of them come back, right, after they kind of fall off the cliff a little bit. So I'm in this situation now with one of my clients. Great guy. I love him to death. And I asked this question actually on Monday. And I said, well, where are we? And he said, well, and he's at a firm that they do financial plans. So it's kind of one of the things they do. So I said, look, I don't know how easy this is for you, but could you strip out what we'll call held away assets? So K plans, you know, cash, all this stuff, wherever it is, right? Strip it out. I got an email yesterday. This guy's successful, you know, probably does right around $800,000 a year gross, you know, nets at least half of that, successful. $54 million later, we got a big project. And so the reason why I'm saying this here today, and that's right, 54 million is what I said, is don't overthink this business. You know, a lot of you are so indoctrinated into always wanting to get new households. And look, and I understand you always need fresh blood in your business. I don't care if you've been in this business 1 year or 50 years. There's something about always getting a new client. I love getting new clients. It's almost like a revalidation. I understand that. But then don't sit there and say to yourself, well, I know everything else behind me. You know, Because look, if you took on a client 20 years ago and you haven't done a deep dive in 10, you don't know that client. You have no idea what you have an assumption of what you know. It is not a statement of fact. And assumptions will cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in income in this business. So no assumptions, okay? What I want you to do, and this is my challenge, if you will, is I want you all to go back and get the bias away. How many of your clients could you absolutely swear on your family as a statement of fact they're optimized? Got all the assets, you've done all the insurances, the financial planning, the net worth statements, the lending, whatever it is that you've got on your board in terms of services, right? You know for a fact. It's either not applicable, or it's a no, or it's whatever it is, but you know for a fact. And if you don't, that for some of you could be a tremendous opportunity, but you got to stop looking over here when the opportunity is here, right? Keep that in mind, all right? Little note for today. Hey, real quick, I made a comment earlier that I give every advisor in this industry 30 minutes of my time, so I'm going to make you a very, very naked offer. If you go, to either my YouTube channel or to my SoundCloud page, there will be a link, or you go to my website, right? ipginc.net. You'll find an intro call, 30 minutes of my time, fill a little form. You pick your time, we roll. Not a pitch session, not a sales presentation, no decks. It's all about you. So, you want to take me up on that? Real cool. Someday we'll chat. I promise you. I'm committed to that. In the meanwhile, figure out how much money you got laying around, how much wealth you have laying around that you have not captured by your clients. Have a great day.